right, Matt, we got another great Fight Night card coming at us this weekend, June 13th, from the UFC Apex facility in Las Vegas, Nevada. Matt, I want to preface this by saying last weekend we started out with a win. Then we had 3 losses in a row. Overall, we ended up going 8-4. So a lot of people were kind of critical of us. It was actually the first card that we've agreed on every single pick, which is pretty rare because, again, it's the only one out there. But this weekend, the first fight on the card, maybe this is one of those ones that you get excited for, typically for Dana White's Contender Series, but these two guys getting the fast track into an opportunity with the promotion. We've got Aquaman, Anthony Ivy taking on the Beast, Christian Aguilera. I know a lot of people might be surprised. Yes, it's not Christina Aguilera looking for the fight. It's Christian Aguilera, and I did say Aguilera, but I meant Aguilera. And we're really excited for this fight, Matt, because Christian Aguilera, a guy that spent some time with LFA, he's fought some names that a lot of people might recognize. Matt Sales and David Mashad actually headlined a card last February with Mashad for LFA. And he's going to be taking on a very tough test in Aquaman Anthony Ivy, 8-2 so far in his young career. He's the Fury FC welterweight champ. A lot of people might recognize the Truth, Mike Jackson from Fury FC, also the WXC welterweight champ. So he has experience training for 5-round fights. He was actually supposed to take on short notice, Gerald Meerschaert last weekend at UFC 250 when Ian Heinisch, was he in, was he out? He was in limbo. Ivy was going to step in, fight at 185 pounds. Now we get him back at 170, taking on Christian Aguilera. Matt, what do you make of this fight? I think it's a great one because Aguilera is a fast starter, 10 wins by knockout, 9 of them in the first round. Anthony Ivy, very well-rounded. He can get it done on the ground. He could knock you out on the feet. A lot to be desired. What do you expect from this one?
So I think it's going to be an interesting fight. What I really like, too, is when you look at Tapology, it tells you that Ivy is the #1 ranked welterweight in Texas, and Aguilera is the #1 ranked welterweight in California. So it's kind of a battle of the states, too, and you get to see kind of the top prospect in that weight division from both states. So I think it could make for a really fun matchup. But like you said, Aguilera kind of needs to win this fight in the first round because the longer the fight goes, every second that ticks off the clock is going to favor Ivy because not that he has that like grind kind of style like a Daniel Cormier, but compared to Aguilera, that's very much what it is. And when you have a guy who can go those, 3, 5 hard rounds that and he's been proven to do so, going against a guy who, yeah, he's going to go through with a big head of steam right away. But if he kind of blows himself out and doesn't get the finish in that, first 3-4 minutes of the fight, you have to favor Ivy after that. So with me, hands down, I think Anthony Ivy's going to get it done. But I do think it's going to be a fun fight for as long as it lasts.
And it's interesting to see the odds, too, because Anthony Ivy, a pretty good favorite. I mean, minus 190 to Christian Aguilera's plus 165 line. If you look over on Tapology, out of the early votes, 323 of them, 94% of the fans going with Ivy to win this one. Actually, 83% predicting a knockout. Do you see it ending that way?
I think he will. I don't think it'll be just straight knockout like Cody Garbrandt style. I do think it'll be TKO on the ground, though, just because eventually if Aguilera can't keep up with Ivy, he's going to get dragged to the ground at some point, and he's probably going to get ground and pound. That's the way I see it, at least.
Interesting one, too, because Anthony Ivy, 6'2", 74 inches of reach, and if you look over at Aguilera, 5'9", 71 inches of reach. So it's an interesting matchup in that regard. And usually the longer guy maybe wants to establish distance, this and that. And Aguilera, you have to expect, going to want to go in there, get the fast start, impress the boss in Vegas on that Contender Series stage at the Apex. Although this one being on a Fight Night card. So, Matt, this is one of those ones that maybe not fight of the night. Maybe you get a performance bonus, but... And a lot of people critical, well, Craig, you didn't make picks last weekend. I did. I'm going to go with Anthony Ivy as well, Matt. I think he's going to be able to get it done on the ground. Whether that be by submission, no, I don't really think so. Out of Aguilera's 19 pro fights, he's never been submitted, but he has been knocked out a number of times. So I'm going to be going with Anthony Ivy in this one. And Matt, you're not going to want to miss the rest of our predictions for this Fight Night card. 2 minutes for the rest of the main card and the prelims. 5 minutes for our main event between Evil Eye and Cynthia Calvillo. You can check out the rest of those videos in the playlist. Matt, as we always say with Fight Night picks, let's get into it.